Bless. Hello, Brian. Hello, Brian. Cold up there? Darrell, what's up? Hmm. I don't know. These are very similar. Very similar. Hello, AJ, Mernon, John, Morgan. Morgan, maybe you can help me identify this bait. So the only reason I bought it is because it kind of looked like this one. So I bought this one thinking, I don't know what I was thinking. I just wanted to see it. Hello, Tom. Hope you're doing well. I just wanted to see it. I wanted to, I don't know. I was curious. So this was the first one I bought, and this was years and years and years and years and years ago. I bought it thinking maybe it's like a an unidentified WEC, like somebody repainted an old WEC, and maybe I could strip it and find like a beautiful Ed bait. But upon further inspection, I don't think that's what it is. I really don't know what it is, but I don't know who made it. But this is the bait. I mean, obviously it's a repaint because it's got tape masking marks on it. Eyes are pretty decent. Paint job is a little wonky because the scales are kind of crooked. So whoever put the scales on was not Ed-like. I don't know. This might be I don't know who repainted this, but this might be an on the line repaint. Might be an on the line bait. I don't know. But it interested me. I wanted it. I didn't pay much for it at all, but and it had these crappy hooks on it, so that interested me. So it might be on the line. I'm not 100% sure. The crooked scales kind of put me that way. The eyes kind of too. Uh, I would like to know what's under the repaint code, or if the bait was sealed. No, there's blue. So whatever is under this, I believe, is very blue. Or no, that's his tape. He that's his tape. He's using blue painter's tape, and he left it around the bill. It looks like. So, hello, Clay. You probably can't see it, but there's a strip of blue around the bait, and the guy just left his tape in the clear coat. So, I don't know. I could ruin this bait potentially. I could potentially ruin this bait and try and peel back a layer, but I don't know what I would accomplish by that besides just digging the bait up, which I've done plenty of times. Let's see, doesn't rattle. I mean, I honestly don't think this is going to be like the greatest Balsa B3 I've ever thrown in my life. but I would certainly hate to just destroy it for no reason. If I knew it was valueless, uh, I would probably destroy it. I've destroyed way nicer. So the new bait that I got, it was unmarked, lots of stuff. So here is a WEC wobbler. Probably familiar with that bait, some of you. Nice looking bait. Well, the one I bid on and won for no money is very wobbler-esque. So I bought it because it looked early Ed Chambers-ish, but maybe not. It's very well built. Whoever built it used a dip build coat, like their pearl white was dipped. It wasn't sprayed. You can just typically look at those and tell. Whoever built this seemingly knew what they were doing. They knew how to paint. Eyes are a little far apart, but if it was an early WEC, I don't know if Ed at early in his career did like far away like booze brain eyes. What do they call that disorder where your mom drinks a bunch of booze when she's pregnant with you, and then the kid has like their eyes really far apart? That's kind of what this is. So the eyes kind of throw me off. The paint scales are a little. They're pretty identical to WEC scales. Like if we look at, come on, I didn't know how to Milo shed. Huh. If we look at these, in their shape and size, they're pretty similar to this. This is like pretty near identical. His are pretty identical to that. And being a painter, I know that scale material is nearly impossible to find now. I don't know that they've made it in 20 years. So what it used to be, where you could get it, was they'd sell wedding veils, and that was the shape of the wedding veil material. That's what Bagley used. How is it listed? Let's see. I can send you the link to it. I don't want to give out all my keywords though, Jim. It was listed as a Bagley. Let's see. Let's see if I can pull up this. I don't want to track my package. I want to look at the original listing. And then I will share it. Order details. I don't want to track. More actions. No. Cancel. Track. No, I don't want to track. I just want to look at it. Item. See the original listing. There it is. All right. Then I want to share this. I want to copy the link. And I will send it to Jim. Jim, what would be the easiest way to find you? On Instagram? Are you on Instagram? You are, but we've never spoken. So I'm going to send you a message. There's two Jims. What did it cost? Let's see what I paid for this little jewel. $11 with shipping at Yahoo. All right, let's see. I'm just going to reply to the last email. Yeah, it was buy it now for $10.99 at like midnight. And I saw it and I said, I'll take that. So, I mean, if the eyes weren't so far apart, I would potentially say this was an early zoom wobbler type thing. I don't know. It has zoom characteristics. Besides the eye, the scales are very zoomy. Whoever built it dipped their build coat. It wasn't sprayed, or their base coat, whatever, like their pearl coat. They knew how to paint. They had control. Yeah, it's a nice bait. It doesn't look carved. It looks like it came off of a machine. Somebody had, like, it's built professionally. Like, whoever built this knew what they were doing. It's very well done. Like I said, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But for $11, it was worth a peek. So I dropped. Oh, and it's got a nice barbarian hook on the front and a big fat bronze thing on the back. In-barb barbarian, I will add. I don't know. I don't know what this is. It's not a production system because those were horrible looking. Somebody was telling me that there was a Lee Sisson bait that, like, he did before, like, the production Sissons that was in between him at Bagley and starting the Sisson, like, mass produced bait that he made himself. Don't know that I've ever seen one of those or what they would look like, but maybe. I don't think so. This one doesn't scream Sisson to me, but I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. I'm trying to look. He made a bunch of baits. Well, it looks like Lee's eyes are typically closer together too. They're just higher up on the head. Let's see here. Let me look. No, I've never seen any sisson bait unless he was at Bagley making baits where he was using all of Bagley's stuff. Like no sisson I've ever seen had that scale pattern on them. Like it's a very distinguishable. And if you paint baits, you know that scale pattern because it's impossible to find. Um, yeah, it's got an eye, but it's got a big fat screwtail eye. That is very WEC like. Um, so I don't know. I don't know. It looks like an Ed bait. Like it looks like an Ed paint job. The screwtail, uh, although it's very large, um, and it has the wide set eyes are what throw me off. If the eyes would have been stuck to the nose like tight, I would have been like, yeah, that's a prototype Ed bait. Um, but I don't know. I don't know. So it'll live here and remain a mystery, I guess. I guess it will remain a mystery. It's probably on the line. dude probably made them last month in a bait drop. James Marshall. Oh yeah, I bought that in 2022 from James Marshall. Whoops. Never mind. Not vintage. Not vintage Ed Chambers. So, if anybody has any thoughts, let me know. The other thing about it is the eyes, the way they're dotted, are very much similar to Ed in the size of his dots. Like if you took these and you squeezed them together, it would be nearly identical to Ed's shape or like size dowel he used to dot eyes. And the pupil is pretty big. Ed's pupils were pretty decent size. Um, it's close. It's close. The black dot on the side is a little larger than he would typically do. But like I said, if this bait's from like 1995 or 97 or 6 or something, he might have been experimenting with stuff. Who knows? So we'll see. We'll see. Is there any WEC historians out there? Imagine replicating a Zoom WEC E2 with immaculate accuracy and original packaging. The packaging you could do easy. Building them would be easy. Matching his paint would be tough. It wouldn't be insanely tough, but it would be difficult. It would be difficult because you'd have to have his scale mesh. You'd have to have his scale mesh. Hell, I've asked K Pink before about baits, and he's no historian. I asked him about a bait called a Jay-Z. I can get it off of here. This bait, I asked K Pink about it, and I said, K Pink, What was the origin of this bait? Because I really like it, and I like the bill, I like the body shape, I like everything about it. I'd like to know more about it though. Like, what's the story behind it? And he said, I've never even heard of that bait. It might be a prototype. I don't even know what a JZ is. I'm like, well, okay. So he knows the normal stuff, but outside of that, I don't think he's like really dialed um, on like all the little nerdy stuff. But I haven't swam it yet. No, I just got it a couple days ago. I don't know. There's one of my favorites that everybody talks shit about. I don't know why. Longtail mutt. It is frowned upon in the WEC community, but I just say those guys need to take their shit off the wall and maybe go fish them, because it is a great fish catching bait. I don't know what I'm doing with this. Small duck from 09. I think I just like the color. Don't like tap style baits. Don't know what I'm doing with it. But here it lives. Here it lives. What is this one? Z2 medium diver. Ed made this one in 2004. So what is this bait? 20 years old now? Pretty old. But his eyes in 2004 were pretty close together. Morgan, I got a lot of baits years and years and years ago, and they were destroyed. They weren't destroyed, but they had significant damage. And that was like, I think that was 4, and it was like a beat up beater crankbait lot, and it was all WECs, and I patched them all back together, and that was my intention, was to just fish with them, and they ended up turning out pretty good. That JZ was one of them. But I'm trying to think which other ones were in that lot, because I've got one with a massive amount of repair work I did to it. I don't know what it was though. I don't think it was an E1. They were all weird ones. But good old E1. Jim, send a link. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Speaking of links, does anybody have a DeWalt vacuum? Sea Flash. Is that a Wally G bait? Let's see. The eyes are similar, but it's built differently. Built differently. Let's see. Yeah, it's built way different. I don't know. This one is like I said, I'm gonna hang it up here because I think it's got potential to be something. Do I have another? Do I have a Tennessee shad? Yeah, let's see. Man, Ed's cringing in his grave right now. See all the dust? That's what my WECs are doing now, collecting dust. So there is a Tennessee shad E2 that has I have taken it around the block a few times. Even upgraded the hooks to some black dull hooks. So the gold is different, very much different. But I mean, there's some similarities here. There's some similarities here. Orange throat instead of red. I said, I don't know. Paint is similar. That's what I'm saying. Dude, I should throw the shit out of this one. I don't know. Get off. Got triple grips on this one. This one has a big, giant, nasty crack down the side. That's nice. That's nice all the way to the nose. That is nice. What is this year? This is a 2010. This is when you could get them and actually fish with them. That's when if you needed a WEC, you just got on Simmons' website and ordered one. Yeah, I've got I've got a small collection, nothing too large. I don't know. I don't know that they're gonna get up. What do y'all think? Do y'all think the Zoom crankbaits are gonna continue to climb in value? Or do you think in 10, 15 years nobody's going to give a shit and everybody's going to be looking through their goggles at their live scope, throwing Demiki rigs at fish? I don't know, because I mean already you're seeing them go up and down, so I don't know. Like Bagleys have tanked. If you're a buyer, now's the time to buy them. But the collector Bagley market is awful, and I don't know if there's just not that many people into Bagleys anymore, or if that's what I'm thinking, Jeremy. I don't know that the younger generation is going to give a shit. I don't think they're going to give a shit. Like, because there's not going to be WECs on TikTok. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with the market. I don't necessarily. I don't know, because I think the guys that want them now are getting them, or they had them, or whatever. But I know a lot of guys have jumped into the. I had a guy message me and he was like, "Oh, he wanted a bait from up here. I have a very collectible Bagley up there," and he was like, I want to trade you some baits for that one. I was like, all right. So he said, how many of these would it take to get that one? And I started looking at him, and I was like, to me, that's a $200 bait. So, or more, but we'll just say 200, and so we'll say 200. And I've been buying like, I always buy cheap Bagleys on eBay, or I go and I haven't in forever, but at the time I was, and they were like, I never paid more than like $7 for one. Like you could get it for $4 or $3 shipping, and sub $10. And the guy was like, I was like, it's probably going to take 30 of those to equal that one. And he's like, that's like $5 a piece. It's like, yeah, that's what they cost. He's like, am I really that out of touch? And I was like, yeah, go look at the completed listings on eBay. And he did, and he's like, wow, that's sickening. I was like, yeah. He's like, I thought they were like $15 a piece. I was like, oh no, not anymore. The $200 Bagley. The color is OTP. Bait is a deep honeybee. Rare color, odd bait. So I don't think it's a killer bee. It would probably be more valuable. But I tried to sell it not too long ago, last year maybe. Um, I've been offered 100 for this one. Killer bee one. Probably need to message that guy back and sell it to him if he wants to give me $100 for this thing. It's not really doing me any good. You like this one better, Hella? I was never a fan of this color. Apparently, it's a really good smallmouth color. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. But Jody gave me a really rare. See if I can find it. Y'all will get a kick out of this. In here. In there. In here. So, I was in Jody's wedding, my fishing partner, and he gave me a bait as a groomsman gift, and it was a Bagley Balsa V2 in a rare color, valuable. Yes, probably $100+ bait. Well, I went out and destroyed it. Yes, I took his $100 bill gift and beat it off a dock. And I did beat it off a dock. So I saw somebody. I think I saw one on eBay or one on Facebook, and somebody paid like $150 for it, and I was like, I have one of those. Um, but now it's got a big nasty coat of epoxy on it, some wood filler. Uh, it's pretty gnarly, but I can fish it. Um, I would not have any qualms about fishing this bait now. Uh, uh, I think this has been repaired. I think this was my backup. Look at those eyes. Nice job, loser. Those are like AJ's eyes. I don't know what this is. Oh, this is a crappy Balsa B1. Man, I'm glad I can paint better than I could back then. I painted over some really nice baits with some really shitty paint jobs. But you know what? I was pretty insightful because the whole time when I was really bad at painting, I limited the amount of nice baits that I would paint, knowing that I wasn't doing justice to the bait. So I didn't paint nearly as many baits of my own as I probably as some people might would have, because I wasn't ever happy with uh, the finished product. So luckily, I have lots of baits that have remained in their uh, in their in their true form, and I didn't destroy them. But I've got a lot of beat up Bagleys. Golden Brim Killer B2. This one's a little nice. So there was two variations, not to get too deep into the Bagleys. There's the wedge bill Bagley. There's a rainbow trout B2. But the more desirable rainbow trout, if you're digging through your grandfather's tackle box, has no dot. The more common one had a dot. But I would like to fish this color. Uh, I would like to fish this color because it's very fishy looking, but I've never thrown it. I bet it's really good because it's kind of got tomato shad vibes to it, which is one of my favorites. But I would bet that this color would smash them down here. Oh, this was a cool bait. This bait was spray painted when I first got it, and I stripped it down, and that's what it was. I was able to get all the spray paint off of it. I canceled that Karen order I have on the hook, and they said it may be another month, and I was like, screw that, maybe they said it may be issue. Brandon, I'm doing, I have so many damn things to try on, and so I definitely want to give those green effective. Damn. You're painting nostrils, pretty much. I just want them to look like that. That's what a crankbait's supposed to look like. I don't know what happened to this bait. I think this bill had come out at some time and somebody replaced it. But it's an odd angle and it's an odd depth. But how about this custom? How about this custom job? This is real custom. When you paint your bait, you just paint the hooks, everything. Mask the bill off and blast. I guarantee you this was painted with some sort of marking tape, like marking paint, like striping paint. But got the job done for somebody. These were local. This was a local paint job. What is this? More old Bagleys. B4s. Just junk. Just junk. Orange kicker front hook, pretty much. Pretty much. I think that's what I'm going to start. Oh, I left one out. I left an old Burnsy out. I believe this was called the Burns Fat Boy. Look at those little eyes. Paint job's pretty decent. Paint job is pretty decent. Those are some eyes. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Just showing off some vintage Burnsy stuff. I didn't even know how to sign my name. What a loser. What a loser. That is an old Burns. Big wide body. Was this the Fat Boy? I like my little paint job I did there. I should go back and do that again. I actually still have that stencil. It's one of those FX texture stencils that I just taped bars down. Still got it, and it's still taped up. Actually, that's what I used on the. No, never mind. That is giving up the trade secret from 2012. Early B2 style. Oh, I always thought that was the Fat Boy. I thought that was your early B2. No? Look at those eyes. I was getting better. I was getting better. Signing the tail side of the bait. H&T. I did used to take all the I used to buy these albino Bagleys, and then I would put scales and a back on them and paint them. That was my go-to. Hello, Darius. That was my go-to back in the day. I didn't have to base coat anything. Thank you, Brendan. Darius, are you fishing this week? It was the Burns answer to a B2. There you go. The Swimbait talk up top. TK, was there any? Hold on, I saw eyes. Was there any larger baits you painted that they wanted painted eyes like Swimbait or broomstick style plugs? No. South Jersey, you have to understand that Swimbait guys in a large number do not have background in anything other than swim baits. So, like, painted eyes aren't a thing. They're a thing to crankbait guys, but there's so many guys in the swim bait world that don't know this shit exists. You know what I mean? Like, they're just swim bait dudes. So if I were to take a broomstick style, like a slammer style bait, and dot eyes on it, people be like, "Oh, that's dope. That's fucking sick, dude. Where'd you get that?" And it's like, no, it's the same way eyes have been dotted for 40 years. Um, but you went on the weekend. You couldn't stand it. You couldn't take it, Darius. It must have been the right weather. Uh, Ever use Dead Meat Customized? The guy that owns it is my buddy from Albuquerque. Let's see. I think I did order eyes from him for one thing. Dead Meat Customs. Yeah, I ordered some. I ordered some randomized, trying to put them in a. I think they were for Pat's baits, because I think a Pat's eye is like 11.5 or 12 millimeter. Um, it was a gill, a Pat's gill, and I needed eyes for it, and I knew he would probably have weird sizes. Um, yeah, I remember talking to this dude. There was some confusion on his sizing, because I said I needed an 11 millimeter eye, and he said, "That's a weird size eye. Are you sure you need 11 millimeters?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then he said, uh, he said most of my eyes aren't really true to size, so like an 8.5 millimeter is going to be more like an 8. I was like, so I need an 11.5. Like, I need an 11 millimeter eye. And he said it's just super rare. I said, what size do you make? And he says 8 up to 19. No half sizes. Yeah, I got confused. Um, but I eventually got them. I think I still have them. Maybe. Yep. That was one. But no, I typically don't. I typically don't get too. I don't have enough weird size eyes to keep them, like, bother that guy to make me eyes. Um, yeah, I guys don't have the greatest reputation, Brendan. They have. There's been a lot of flaky eye guys out there, but Matt, like I said, that the dead meat dude was uh, helpful to me. Just a little confused at first, but got him. Got my eyes. I mean, I guess that's all you can ask for. I think most people don't even get that opportunity to get the eyeballs. Uh, there's really not that many though, Brendan. Not that, I mean, I can think of like two. I can think of two: Jetson and Dead Meat. That's about all I know. Brendan, you're supposed to capitalize blown, not all. Always hated 3D eyes. Yeah, I don't like them. But I went through. I will openly admit I went through a phase where I would stick them on wood baits. It's embarrassing. It's very embarrassing. I saw the phony post on Universe where a guy posted a pro angler showing off phonies and said prices will go back up, and a bunch of people in the comments were saying negative stuff. Why would he raise his prices because of a picture? Was he being serious? Where is that bait? Look at this beautiful. Look at this beautiful paint job. Focus. I'm not gonna focus. Not gonna focus. But then I stuck those dumbass eyes on it. What a fool. What a fool. Look at that. This is ancient, dude. That's from like 2013. I think my dad built this bait. I think my dad built this bait. People are saying they wish you got theirs. I don't know. I don't either. I don't either. She did, Burnsy. South Jersey, what happens is the guys that would see a professional fisherman hold up a phony, when they go to look into what the bait is, typically are not going to be members of Swimbait Universe. So they won't ever hear any of the negativity. They might find out what the bait is. They'll send it to their little nerdy Swimbait buddy and say, "What is this?" They'll say, "It's a phony. Where do I get them?" And they'll send him the website. And he'll get on there and try to get one, email the builder, whatever. You'll never hear from those people. But that's just the way of the world. But they might have, those are the people that might have good experiences. Who knows? I don't. I don't know why. Like the swim bait world is so dumb in the fact that like there's known guys and everybody knows them. And everybody does. I mean, I guess I say everybody knows them. There's a large population of people who know who does shisty stuff and who doesn't, and they still like rip people off. I don't know. It's mind boggling that the amount of like the thing about it now is there's not the market isn't so limited that you have to use one person to like, you know what I mean? Like it's not like there's like only two builders out there and you've got to use the sleaze bags to get a bait that does something. Like use somebody that's reputable. Like buy 316 shit. You know what I mean? Mickey shows you what you're getting, gives you a timeline, and sends you your baits, and they're badass. The paint's not going to fall off of them. Like nothing is wrong with the bait, but for some reason, I guess it's money. I think it typically boils down to a lot of it being. But I mean, phonies aren't cheap. But I think a lot of baits, a lot of people say, "Oh, well, I'll give this lesser known guy a shot because he's selling $90 baits. He's going to sell me a $90 glide, so I don't have to spend 200 on a phony." And then homeboy takes their 90. I don't know. I don't know. It's very confusing. Swimbait guys are like hot chicks that can't stop dating guys that treat them like garbage. It's a good analogy. Uh, People are still buying 316. They should be. But the problem, Brendan, is there's shittier brands more hyped than 316. There's shittier baits more hyped than 316. And it shouldn't be that way. Like that's what's so maddening about like all the bullshit in that world is that like you see used 316 stuff going for like way cheap. And and like I said, the dude always delivers badass shit. His stuff's more durable than probably hands down any bait out there. Um, I know, Brendan. That's why you can't believe it because if anybody that was mouthy or like wanted to act like they knew what they were talking about would mention Mickey's shit in a in a post every once in a while. You know what I mean? Ordered 4 different times from 316 and got every one of them in under a week. And it was probably exactly what you were thinking it was going to be. It looked exactly like it, and it performed exactly like you wanted it to. Only bacon I can catch a fish on is the little freestyles. I've heard. I've not heard that you can't catch fish on them. I've heard the freestyles catch plenty of fish, but they are not a big fish magnet. Um, but whatever. I don't know why. Maybe it's just a style of bait. I wouldn't. I wouldn't think. I don't think just the logical side of my brain does not say that the swim of a 316 freestyle repels a larger than average size fish from eating it. I wouldn't think it's that grotesque that the swim on that is so grotesque that like a 5 to 10 pounder sees it and goes, ooh, no, no, mm-mm, no, not happening. Uh, I think it's just the style of bait and the size of it. Um, I tell people you're not selling crap baits when you have a standalone building in your fork. Buy 316 and you won't be disappointed. Agreed. I'm a big Mickey fan. I'm a big fan of his baits, what he does, how he does stuff. I mean, maybe not aside from like his bait stuff, but that's besides the point. Uh, I mean, you can't, business wise, dude offers a product, delivers. What else do you want? And there's so many people that jump in every week. There's always people jumping in. Like I saw a post on Universe a couple days ago. The dude was like, "What's your favorite thing about a Glide?" Or what's your favorite thing about like a Hinkle? And what's your favorite thing about a KGB? I'm gonna make one that's like a combination of all those greatest things and make like a super Glide. It's like, no, you're not, dude. Like, shut up. You know what I mean? Like, the last thing on earth that you're gonna dazzle anybody with is a friggin' Glide bait right now. Like, there's literally thousands of people pumping those out. You're not gonna do it. Oh, I'm gonna put like a paintbrush in the tail. Go for it, bro. Go for it. Get in there. Get in there with every other trunk slammer and sell your fantail Glide. Every time I swim one of his baits, I'm like, this dude is so far ahead of everyone else. He is. He truly is, Morgan. And though the thing about it is that, like me included, like Mickey was doing all his stuff pretty much pre-internet. And the main difference is that he did not have 3D printers, to my knowledge. There was nothing like all his shit was pre 3D printed. So all the nice stuff you see now, my bait included, is 3D printed, so it looks factory. Mickey's shit looks factory, but it's made by hand. And I think that's what everybody who strives to build something with their hands wants it to look like it came out of a machine. And his looks like that, but it didn't come out of a machine. Two hands. And that's majority. I can't think of any other handmade bait that doesn't look handmade, and Mickey's don't look handmade. I mean, I can't think of anybody's that you wouldn't look at and say somebody carved that. Um, you know, even his like his Rising Sun. And if you want to be part of the crowd, you got to get in there when the 5% circle jerk. Yeah, no, Jeremy, it's really annoying. Like, I don't really see anything of value that comes out of that page anymore. Like, people don't ever talk about fishing or like really in depth, like hardcore stuff. But I wanted my bait. The OCD obsessive part of my brain needed. I knew I didn't have the time to develop the proper skills to carve a bait to the point that it looked machined. That would have taken years and years and years, and I did not want to devote that to carving. So, and the only way I would have been happy producing something and painting it would have been if it was all symmetrical and perfect. Um, but a few baits off of SU, and it was a chore. Easier to buy weed in Texas. I could believe that. Um, He is a robot, dude. He is a damn robot. But I don't know. Uh, I mean, you see the way baits are being built now compared to like how they were being built 20 years ago, 15 years ago even. And like it's amazing what he was able to produce with uh, the resources back then. Where's my drink? Oh, wow, dude! I made some tea last night, and it is potent. What's the dude from Black Dog's name? Jeremy? Yeah, I meant to. I've had. Dang, Mousy out. What time is this? I was fishing Mickey's floating gizzard glide. Mm, I've been threatening to buy some of Mickey's baits because I keep seeing them pop up on Universe for cheap. I think somebody sold, Brendan, you might have seen this. Somebody sold one of his popping freestyles. I want to say it was 100 or $80. No, it was 100. Somebody sold it for 100 bucks. I was like, dude. And nobody bought it like for a while. Because I remember the post had been up for like hours and it was still up for 100. And I was like, how has nobody bought this thing? And I looked at it and I was like, dude, if I get back on here like in a little while and it's still on here, I'm gonna buy that damn thing. And but when I got back on it, it sold. I was like, finally, somebody came to their senses. But the thing about it is, like some other like douche bait sold like way shittier paint, way shittier build, sold like for more money, like as soon as it popped up. It's like, why? Jeremy, I was back in like 2009. It was a Phantom bidding war. Like a guy that offered me 50 more, and he's local, but I did for 75 more. Oh, one of those things. Those happen a lot. That's the same for me, Kyle. Like, I like building or assembling limited amounts of swim baits. Like, obviously, I reached my capacity and patience level for the native gill, but I enjoy it while I'm doing it. But my heart lies in crankbaits. I like I like painting them. I like having them. I just like crankbaits. So I'll be back. I'll be back in the. I'll get a bug to paint a big bunch of big baits and try and make some. But I like them to be pretty. We got it. Hour 9. Well, fingers crossed, gentlemen. If Amy gets back in time this week, I'm going to try to do a little camper sesh on Thursday. If I don't get hosed with some bullshit. We'll see. We'll see. Which it makes me. It's really. I need to call her and tell her that I need to do something on Thursday night and go ahead and get it in the work so I can try and uh, convince a guest to come on because I don't want to book somebody and then them not show up. Haven't poured one of yours in 2 years. I really I think part of it is me getting on the internet and it like the like I'll see like a handful of posts on Universe and it'll just like turn my stomach and it'll just make me not want to like build a bait. Brendan, am I going to spam you with pictures of the Beast God repaints again? I'm going to my 316 album. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to think of the last 316 I painted. It honestly hasn't been. It's been a pretty good while. Damn, I was just scrolling through my pictures and see these two little jewels. That's a sexy bait, dude. I know I need to, Jeremy. I need to remove myself from there. It just puts me in a bad mood. Because I'll see some bullshit bait. Where is Clay? I think they're like 400. Isn't that a beast? I think this one was huge. If I recall, that might be a gizzard. I don't recall. It was big. It was large. Brendan, what is that one? It's large and in charge. Any ideas? Clay, I think the Bass Jack dude caught a bunch of shit when he first released his, which he caught like 18 pounder on it or something. That's the gizzard. Um, he caught some huge fish on it, apparently, and then he put out his swim video, and like everybody ran to the comments to say, or ran to post that it swam like shit. So I think that's the biggest funny argument you see in in swim baiting specifically is that what is the definition of a good swim? And I think uh, anybody that's tinkered with baits or like building any kind of baits has seen that some of the wonkiest ones you dick around with get bit. Like good. And if you didn't necessarily know that, and I had like this bait uh, that caught fish really good, and I sent it to you, you might look at it and be like, damn, this thing swims like shit. But turns out, so there's lots of baits out there like that. That's like, I don't like the swim of a hinkle at all. Like, I think, and the biggest one that I don't like that has sold thousands and thousands of baits is a Roman. Ugh, gross. Very clunky, very just me. And you watch them swim, and you're like, damn, this thing looks terrible. Like a hinkle. You swim a hinkle. To me, a hinkle looks like ass. But does it catch them? Sure. Like, can you get bit on a Roman? Sure. Um, but there's I think that's the biggest problem you run into is you got a guy that, one guy says this bait runs like ass. The other guy has the same bait and just got his PB on it. And because it's the internet age, the guy who says the bait runs like ass, his comment holds a little water. You know what I mean? To people reading the comments, they're like, "Oh, well, this guy said it runs like shit." And it's like, well, I don't know. I guess you just have to buy one and find out. Um, the 86 Andromeda blows the hinkle out of the water. A lot better swim. A hinkle catches bass that shouldn't bite. Hard to explain. Exactly. But I don't think my point of that was, Chris, I don't know that you would throw a hinkle if you had no prior knowledge of its history and its ability to catch a fish. I don't think you would swim it and be like, this is going to be completely irresistible to giant bass. I like a clash. I think it sucks. Yeah, I never. The ghost is obscene. Um, I don't know. I don't know. But there's so many like wonky baits out there that get bit. Uh, so like having people define what swim is good or bad is, to me, it annoys me because like everybody's opinion on that is different. And if you're like me, I might say that thing looks like shit. It might be the most fish catching bait out there, like Bass Jack's bait. People flamed him because they said it swam like shit. The dude's holding an 18-pounder up, and it's like, did it? Did it? Does it swim like shit? This 18-pounder didn't think so. So I don't know. A trick shad. Which one is that? Bull shad? That shouldn't be hard to find. That shouldn't be too hard to find. What's up, Anthony? I'm about to roll out of here. I'm about to go paint. I was letting my paint room warm up a little bit before I went out there and blasted 40-degree paint. I should be warm by now. Probably, Sean. I could probably get you a trick. AJ knows it was in the 40s last night. 46, I think, if you want to call that the 40s. So, but back there, it gets concrete gets cold, stays cold for a while. Stick the paint in the microwave. That would probably work nicely. Just wanted to build a simple 7-inch glide from wood that swims perfectly. I failed many times. Yeah. It's hard to do. I'm throwing that 80-pound max quattro straight drag the log back with the bait sanity. Oh, Sean's got a winch rig now. He's got a mud bog rig set up. Marty watched Marlon Bates when he cuts open the mother. He probably pick up one that doesn't like it then. Bigger bait is easier and make the profile taller. It helps. It certainly helps. I'm sure the Lake Michigan bass love a big braid. Well, I'm gonna go paint, dudes. I actually got like hours sleep last night. No, you don't want the bait to swim like a mother. Yeah, just watch him chop it open for amusement purposes. You don't want it to swim like that. As my good buddy Josh Heron would say, it swims like a dump truck, which is pretty accurate. A lot of dump trucks out there. But you'll be good. Good talking to everybody. Well, I'll keep all the campers posted on Thursday night. Hopefully that'll be a go. But until then, you'll be good. Catch y'all next time. Until I stay here another 10 minutes reading these comments. It looks like it's still in 2x4 form, pretty much. My bait costs 150, so I need to throw. That's typically the formula, isn't it, Jeremy? For every $1 you spend on your swim bait, you go a pound test on your line you throw. I think that's how it goes. All right, dudes. That'll be good. Catch you later. Sayonara.